Saadia Saber with OpTv Global Headlines. Starting with the top international stories for the day. The US completed its withdrawal from Afghanistan late on Monday, ending America's longest war and leaving behind a socially fractured and economically depressed country. The US military left behind up to 200 Americans and thousands of desperate Afghans who couldn't get out and must rely on the Taliban to allow their departure. Taliban fighters quickly swept into the airport and fired weapons into the sky in jubilation, celebrating an astonishing victory for the movement 2 decades after US forces invaded Afghanistan and toppled them from power. The Taliban spokesman says Islamic State will end its attack in country once foreign forces leave the Afghanistan. If they continue with their operations, the Islamic government, we will deal with them, he added. The United States expects the Taliban to live up to their commitments now that US troops have pulled out of Afghanistan, but any legitimacy or support will need to be earned, US Secretary of State Antony Blinken said. He also added that the United States was committed to helping every American who wants to depart Afghanistan to leave the country. A US drone strike in Kabul on Sunday caused civilian casualties. According to Afghan officials as well as the Taliban, an Afghan official said 3 children were also killed in the drone strike near Kabul's airport, while the Pentagon says it can't yet dispute claims that a US drone strike on a suspect suicide bomber in Afghanistan killed a number of civilians. A Pakistan International Airlines plane carrying desperately needed medical supplies from World Health Organization landed in Afghanistan. It is the first shipment to get in since the country came under the control of the Taliban. The World Health Organization has established an air bridge into the northern city of Mazar-e-Sharif with the help of Pakistani authorities. Syrian regime forces have shelled opposition-held parts of city Dara, killing at least 1 person. Meanwhile, rebels killed 4 soldiers after Russia brokered talks to end the presence of opposition fighters in the area collapsed. The European Union has removed United States, Israel, Kosovo, Lebanon, Montenegro, and Republic of North Macedonia from its safe list for non-essential travel. The European Union recommended on Monday that its 27 nations reinstate the restrictions on tourists from US because of rising coronavirus infection there. Hurricane Ida had become a tropical storm as its top wind slowed over Mississippi. More than 1 million residents in Louisiana and Mississippi may be in the dark for weeks as officials take stock of the damage from Hurricane Ida. Destructive winds and water already had a catastrophic impact along the southeast coast of Louisiana, and life-threatening river flooding continued well inland. About 5,000 National Guard members have been deployed to aid search and rescue. Up next, we have the national updates. Chief of Army Staff General Qamar Javed Bajwa assured that despite challenges, Pakistan's borders are secure and the armed forces are prepared to meet any situation. Detailed briefing on the security environment, including the situation on the borders and Pakistan's army efforts for peace and stability, was given to a delegation of the Parliamentary Kashmir Committee, Defense Committees of the Senate, and the National Assembly. A soldier was martyred in South Waziristan district when an improvised explosive device went off. The Inter-Services Public Relations said that during an exchange of fire that followed the deadly IED explosion, one of the terrorists trying to flee from the area was killed. Interior Minister Sheikh Rashid Ahmad has ruled out a long-term presence in Pakistan of those US troops who are coming from Afghanistan, saying that the foreigners who will stay in the country had been issued transit visas ranging from 21 to 30 days. He added that as many as 2,192 individuals had entered Pakistan from the Torkham border, while 1,627 had come to Islamabad by air. The Foreign Office of Pakistan has expressed concern over tax arrangements in India for security of nuclear and other radioactive materials, including the imported ones. The concern was expressed after third instance of seizure of stolen radioactive material in India over the past 4 months. The government of Pakistan is all set to launch Universal Pakistan Emergency Helpline 911 in the first week of October 2021. Prime Minister Imran Khan hopes that the launch of Helpline would help ensure peace and security and to curb crime in the country. The Ramon Magsaysay Award 2021, also known as Asia's Nobel Prize, has been presented to Akhuvat Foundation's founder Dr. Amjad Saqib. This award is given every year to individuals who have made extraordinary contributions to the eradication of poverty and the development of the society. Akhuat Foundation has provided 150 billion rupees interest-free loans. Pakistan People's Party chairperson Bilawal Bhutto Zardari, while talking at Chaib at the leader of the opposition in the National Assembly, Shehbaz Sharif, said that opposition leader from PPP is thrown in jail, but a person holding the same position who hails from Lahore roams freely. Bilawal was referring to veteran PPP leader Khurshid Shah, who was arrested by the National Accountability Bureau's Sakhar chapter. Leader of the opposition in the National Assembly, Shehbaz Sharif, vowed to go against any government efforts to pass legislation related to Pakistan Media Development Authority. We will join forces with all political parties against this black law, Mr. Shehbaz assured the journalists. Authorities have banned the use of smartphones at all lounges of the Bacha Khan Airport of Peshawar, citing security reasons. The authorities have not shared further details about the nature of security threats and the duration of the ban. A group of transgender persons have been provided their community with an opportunity to earn by setting up a honeybee farm in Lodhra. The first trained batch, comprising 5 transgender persons, was provided with free-of-cost material for setting up the honey production units in an urban forest. Up next, we have the health updates. The world passed the grim threshold of 4.5 million COVID-19 deaths on Monday as the virulent Delta variant wreaked havoc globally. Some 10,000 deaths are reported every day in the world, a much lower figure than the highs of January, but the figure is much higher than at the start of July. South African scientists have detected a new coronavirus variant with multiple mutations. It is yet to establish whether the variant is more contagious or able to overcome the immunity provided by vaccines or prior infection. The new variant C12 has now spread to most South African provinces and to 7 other countries in Africa, Europe, Asia, and Oceania. Pakistan has reported 118 deaths in the last 24 hours by novel coronavirus as the number of positive cases has surged to 1,160,119. Over 3,838 people tested positive for coronavirus in the last 24 hours in the country. This brings the positivity rate to 7.36%. Up next, we have the updates on science and technology. A speed limit of 30 km per hour has come into force across Paris in a drive to improve the environment. The aim is to cut accidents and reduce noise and pollution. A poll suggests 59% of Parisians are in favor of the measure, but some businesses are among those opposed. Toyota is resuming operations of its autonomous vehicles at the Paralympic Games Village in Tokyo following an accident. Services of the e-pallet pods were halted after a vehicle hit a visually impaired athlete last week. However, the vehicles will now have more operator control and extra staff to ensure they do not hit any more people. Up next, we have the sports updates. The Pakistan Cricket Board has announced the approval of 25% crowd attendance for the upcoming Pakistan vs New Zealand series. New Zealand will arrive in Islamabad on 11 September with a 3 one-day international scheduled at the Pindi Cricket Stadium. Lahore's Gaddafi Stadium will stage the 5 T20s. Former Pakistani cricket captain Shahid Afridi said Monday the next Pakistan Super League might be his last and he would love to play for Quetta Gladiators. Speaking about the country's cricketing matters, he said that in order to change the system, merely swapping people is not enough, indicating the appointment of Ramiz Raja as a member of the Board of Governors. Former Indian batsman Mohammad Kaif has come out in support of Neeraj Chopra, who had earlier appealed to haters to stop twisting his statement on Pakistani javelin thrower Arshad Nadeem. A rival on field can also be a friend. His nationality doesn't matter. He slammed haters for spreading propaganda. After a dramatic evacuation from Taliban held Kabul and a secret operation to fly him to Tokyo, Afghan Paralympian Hussein Rasooli beat the odds to compete in long jump. Rasooli, whose left hand was amputated as the result of a mine explosion, is taking first-time part in long jump in a major competition. Three-time Grand Slam winner Andy Murray ripped Stefanos Tsitsipas for nonsense, delaying tactics in a 5-set US Open comeback victory. Greek third seed Tsitsipas rallied to defeat the 34-year-old Scotsman 2-6, 7-6, 3-6, 6-3 and 6-4 after grinding through 4 hours and 39 minutes. Up next, we have the entertainment updates. Pakistan's most acclaimed singer Atif Aslam revealed that he wished to recite the azan at the Holy Kaaba. The singer was very keen and shared that I am ready to work for the person for the rest of my life, whoever can do the favor. Acclaimed Pakistani TV and film actress Sabaa Qamar has teamed up with country's digital entertainment channel Urdu Flix for a web series project. Directed by Saqib Khan, the web series will be a love triangle romantic comedy with a thrilling angle. Pakistani film Into Dust, honoring Karachi's real-life hero Parveen Rahman, is out on Amazon Prime. The docudrama highlights the brave struggles of social activist who had devoted her life towards the development of impoverished neighborhoods across the country before being assassinated in 2013. Universal slasher film Candyman has topped North American box offices in its opening weekend with a $22 million. The 20th century sci-fi comedy Free Guy slipped to second place at $13.2 million. In the third spot is Paramount Animation Paw Patrol the movie at $6.7 million. Award-winning singer and songwriter Justin Bieber has officially broken all of Spotify's streaming records and has also been listed as the site's most listened to artist. The artist has amassed over 83.3 million listeners on a monthly basis. Movie Tune and A-listers all set to launch from Venice Film Festival. An adaptation of Frank Herbert's science fiction classic Dune is just one of the high-profile premieres coming to 78th Venice International Film Festival. Up next, we have the business updates. The consultant and book runner of Airlink Communication Limited JS Global has brought the largest ever initial public offering in Pakistan. Airlink Communication has Limited, which is one of the largest distributors of smartphones in Pakistan, has planned to attract investment worth Rs 6 billion through the initiative.